Good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing? This is the big one. Hope you can all hear me okay. Let me know if you can't. Trainspotter 7, how are you? Good to see you. Loud and clear, that's excellent. That's what we wanted. Well, this has been coming for a while, hasn't it? And I've certainly been looking forward to this. This is it's kind of a first look, but it isn't because I've done the tutorials for the two locomotives, so I'll just let you in on that fact. But I haven't played any route runs or anything like that. So apart from those tutorials, which I'm going to put on the channel later, just in case you haven't picked this up yet, this will be the first run that we're doing. So this is on PS5. Did plan to go live a little bit earlier today, but there was a problem with the PS5 keys, so this is the first chance I've had to get it on the channel. So without further ado, I think we should jump in. Here's the icon on the top screen, so let's just go into that. First of all, let's just have a review of what there is in this pack. So if we just explore, this is on the PS5, of course. There are 5 training modules. You can see the ones I've done. The intro plays automatically as soon as you go into the DLC, so that one's done. There is the 8F introduction. There is a semaphore signalling introduction. The Jubilee has also got its own introduction, and there is one for the refueling as well. So they are different to previous introductions as well, which is quite nice. They've stepped it up a little bit with these ones, and there's lots more information. And as Matt said on the previous streams, in the route introduction, you don't have to look up, down, left, right, etc., etc. So a lot of that stuff has been cut out now. So that's good. Then in the scenarios themselves, we've got, how many is that? 6. We've got 6. Bovine blockage, tables have turned, really reliable rescue, time for scouse, worst winter of all, oh God, I'm getting tongue-tied already. Worst winter of all, moving around the Mersey. So plenty to do there. They're all ranging in time between sort of 40 and 60 minutes for each of those. So there's 6 of those. Then in timetable mode, 135 services in the timetable. So let's just check these out. So for the 8F, which are all the freight services, there are 36 services on the PS5. And for the Jubilee, 99 services. So there's plenty to do there. Let me just... What I'll do is I'm going to jump into timetable, I think, to begin with. I think we'll start with passenger, and then we'll take it from there. Myrtle, how are you doing? Myrtle says, great to see you again. I need all the help I can get. Have you picked up the Spirit of Steam yet, Myrtle, or are you talking about the standard TSW2? Just before we jump in, I will say a big thank you to Dovetail Games for providing me the key to be able to show you this on the channel. I really appreciate that, so thank you to them. Let's jump in. We'll do an end-to-end service, shall we? Let me find one in the daytime from Crewe. These are all quite small services, aren't they? Oh, one thing I didn't show you, sorry, I forgot journey mode. Let's look at journey mode before we do that. So there are 8 chapters. A Day in the Life is the first one. A couple of introductions in there. Day Tripper. which is freight related. Steaming ahead, which is also freight. And we've got ferrying across the Mersey, and that is for the Jubilee. And those of you who are regulars know I live in Preston, and Preston has made it into Train Sim World 2. Not quite in the way that I thought it would, or I wanted it to, but it's a good start. Look, you know, you can't drive from Preston, but Preston to London Euston is there as one of the services. Then we've got Chapter 5, Too Many People, which again is for the Jubilee. Chapter 6 is Rush Hour. Chapter 7, Into the Fire. And Chapter 8, finally, is freight related. So there's plenty to do in there if journey mode is your thing as well. So I guess we need to go. I'm trying to think of the services we need, which will take us from Crewe to Liverpool. Let's have a look. So Chester to Lime Street. Let's try and find one a bit later. What about this one? 7:30 in the morning. We'll try this one, I think. Just before we start, what I will say is, if you are completely new to steam engines, as I am, I haven't played steam engines in Train Simulator Classic. This is the first time I'm driving steam trains. Yesterday on the Dovetail forums, there was a 10-minute video linked there in one of the sticky threads. That's well worth a watch. Well, you'll need to watch it probably several times, as I did, just to get up to speed. But also with that, there is a one-pager guide on getting the train moving, keeping it going, and stopping, which is really, really useful. And I'm not going to lie, I've printed it out, and it's right next to me because I'm going to need it. It's a bit of a challenge to begin with, to say the least. And you know how much I've played Train Sim World 2, and this is a challenge. But you know, I just want to show you that if I can do it, you can do it. So, Myrtle, just in general on TSW2, pick Steam up though. Just have a look back on the channel, Myrtle. See if any of those videos can help you with the services that you're struggling with. Right, so this is a semi-fast service from Runcorn to Lime Street, so it's not going from Crewe, but we'll do this one anyway. First things first, well, let's have a look at the engine. Can you guys hear the game sound? Is the game sound okay? And importantly, can you hear me over the game sound? This is the Jubilee. So we'll get everybody loaded. It's great how the passengers are in the sort of period clothing now. Yeah, the balance is okay. Thanks, Transporter. Yep, excellent. It's all the usual faces that we've come to know and love, but they're all dressed in period attire, which is quite nice. Everybody likes to wear a hat as well. Right, so the passengers are boarding. I've got the fireman set to auto as well, just for ease of use really, for the first few times that I run this. You'll find a setting for that in the usual place. You can have manual, assisted or automatic. So we got it to automatic. There's a lot to do in the actual train itself, so for now that's a good way to start off. So we've got to wait until 7:30. Let's have a look inside. Here's our reverser. So the good thing is if you're playing on a console as well, which I wasn't clear about during the previous streams, If you're playing on a controller, then you can either press all the controls by pointing, just like this, or you can use the buttons on the controller as well, which we'll have a look at as we go. So we got half a minute. Our boiler pressure is up to the red line, so that's good. There's our fire lady, ready to do her thing. There she goes. So we're about to close the doors. So let's do that. We got a green light, so Ditton Junction is our next stop. So, right, what we need to do is, first of all, cylinder cocks need to be open, so that's good. The blower on 10%. I think the fireman does the blower. Where's the blower? It's up here somewhere. Where's the blower? Oh, actually no, the blower is... right, the blower's open, 10%, so that's good. Dampers, 100%. Front damper, 100%. Rear damper, 100%. Okay. The cut-off, I'm going from the crib sheet here, so in case you follow it. So the cut-off is this, which is also known as the reverser. So we need to get the reverser up to 75%, which is full. So that's that done, and then regulator up to 15% or thereabouts. Combination brake released. See, there's a lot to do. Small ejector open. Where's the small ejector? That's open. That stays open. Large ejector open. And we should start to move, so we're starting to roll now. Ah, it's a really great DLC though. I've only just done the tutorials, as I said, but I was absolutely mesmerised during that. Venom, how you doing? No, there's nothing on the shovel Venom, but Dovetail did say yesterday that that's something that's coming. It wasn't ready for release, but it is going to be animated, so don't worry too much. Right, so once we're underway, the cylinder cocks can be closed. The large ejector needs to be closed. Small ejector stays open, and then the regulator and cut-off you just adjust as you go. So we'll put a little bit more power in. I'm obviously not going to bother today about staying on time. This is just about discovering how to drive the thing and getting from A to B, and more importantly, being able to stop as well, because there's a whole set of stuff we need to do, of course, to stop. So it's looking really, really good on the PS5, I must admit. So we've got 1.5 miles to Ditton. Let me reduce the cut-off now, just to save power. Because we need to make sure we keep the steam pressure up, of course. take a look outside. So one of the tricks I've found just so far is just keeping that boiler pressure up. It's a bit of a challenge, and to put more steam into that, to get the boiler pressure back up again, it's a case of reducing the reverser and closing the regulator bit by bit to keep the steam in. You see the needle there is going, there's like a little V on the needle which shows if your pressure is going up or down, and you can see it's flickering between the two. Yeah, it does look good. It does look good, Train Spotter. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Right, I'm going to close the regulator because I'm going to brake very early. We've got a 20 miles per hour limit coming up, and we're downhill, so start putting the brake in. Coming in quite fast. So remember, you're looking at a complete steam train noob here. So if, like me, you're completely new to it, don't worry about picking this up. There is a learning curve. But I think Dovetail have done a good job to make it accessible to everybody with different skill levels. I'm just putting a little bit of power in now. Brakes are off, just so we can pull into the station. If in the different views that I'm doing the sound is too loud and you can't hear me, just let me know if it changes, because I know the sound's louder in different views. Good afternoon, Farah. How are you? Yes, the train is moving. I've took the handbrake off. I don't know what the etiquette is on the whistle, by the way, in real life, but it sounds brilliant. So you might hear me do that quite a bit. Right, so this is Ditton Junction. So we'll just pop back in. Regulator's closed. Yeah, very gentle on the brakes. Yes, that's a good advice, Farah. Yeah. Have you picked this up, Farah? Already? Yeah, the whistle's great, Myrtle. I'll just put a little bit of brake in. The braking definitely is going to take some getting used to, but you can see there I managed that alright. I came in a little bit slow, admittedly. So, when I'm stopped, I need to open the cylinder cocks. So if you guys that have been playing this spot me do anything that I shouldn't be doing, let me know. It's entirely possible. Thanks for that, Farah. So I think the reverser actually should be No, I'm stopped. Should be there. Which is like a neutral position. So let's get the doors set to locked. That's good. Right, so need to put the reverser to 75. That's the first thing. Cylinder cocks are already open, which is good. The regulator that needs to be fully open. 15% of the regulator to get us going. It's tricky. There's a lot to think about as you're setting off. Now, once we're going, we can close the large ejector. We can also close the cylinder cocks. Trains and planes, how are you? Yes, you can see the whistle. Or you can hear the whistle. The animations as well are excellent, as you'll agree. So we've got 4.7 miles to Allerton, so let's see how we do with this. I imagine after a lot of repetition, the steps to get the train stopping and starting will become natural. It's just to get, to begin with, it's not like the other trains we've got in the game where you pretty much put it in forward and you're away. There's so much to do. Switching tracks. Close the regulator because we've got a 20 miles per hour across here. Hey Tesco Bag, how are you? Good to see you. It sounds great, doesn't it? If I up the regulator too much, the pressure will start to drop, so I don't want to really do that. The needle's fluctuating between pressure going up and down at the moment, so hey Craig, how you doing? This is the first run that I've done. I've done the tutorials for the engines and the route introduction, and this is the first service, but it's brilliant. I would say it's brilliant. In real life I'm not a massive Steam fan, but this actually could turn you into a Steam fan. It is good, it's very good, especially if you already like Steam trains. It's very well done from what I can see so far. I think they've done an excellent job on this. I think they've got a lot of detail into this. We can speed up a little bit, so let's try that. Oh, that's great, Craig, yeah. Yeah. As Pharaoh was saying, you'll get an honest review from me. I am a Dovetail ambassador, but you'll always get an honest review from me, and this one is great. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this one. worth just saying as well, if you've just jumped in, this is the PS5 version, which I don't believe we saw on a stream. I think we saw the Xbox version and we saw the PC version, didn't we, on the Dovetail streams? But I'm just taking it nice and easy. I'm not gonna break the speed record today. But for those guys, those of you guys that are already playing this or are familiar with steam trains, what about the dampers? What happens with the dampers? Do they stay at 100%? Oh no, they're adjusting them as we go. Okay, so those are controlled by the fireman. Okay, excellent. I was a bit worried there was something I was meant to do with the dampers, but it looks like it's all under control there, so that's good. Trains and Planes, you just bought it just now and you're downloading it. Excellent, excellent. What system are you on, Trains and Planes? Are you on PS5? Farah says the steam and the wheels look superb, better than I expected. It's very well done. Let's go into the steam as well. See, that's what you would expect as well, isn't it? I can hear the cows as well. There they are. Hey Poor House, how are you? I am rolling. Everybody was wondering whether I would be able to get this rolling, didn't they? We're okay so far. We've got a long way to go, but yeah, we're definitely rolling. But if you have just joined, don't forget, on the forums yesterday, there was a 10-minute video posted on Dovetail's YouTube channel. You can get to it from the forums, but also there was a crib sheet for getting the thing started, keeping it moving, and also stopping. So I mentioned it at the beginning of the stream, but just in case you've just joined, that's worth getting because it will help you remember the sequence for getting the thing moving. So I've closed the regulator because we're coming up to a 15 miles per hour limit. I've put a little bit of brake in. Still experimenting with the brake. Tesco, no, you don't have to put the coal in yourself. The fireman or fire lady in our case will do that. In the settings you can control it yourself. Or you can have it on automatic or assisted. I've got it on automatic, so it's doing it for me. So I'm not going to quite make this 15 miles per hour. Just put this down slightly. Pretty fast over that junction, to be honest. Right, I'm going to let the brake off. Open the regulator a bit, keep some speed in just as the brakes come off. So when I first saw this, there's a couple of things I was worried about. Keeping the steam pressure up, you know, as a complete noob to steam trains, keeping the steam pressure up and then stopping at the stations. Sounds pretty basic, I know, but actually, you know, once you get your hands on it, it isn't as difficult as you think. I thought it was going to be very, very complicated, but don't let that put you off. If you've got a passing interest in this, pick it up and give it a try. It's well worth it. We've got some sheds coming up on the left hand side there. It's quite massive sheds there. Which ones are those? Let's have a look. Allerton sheds, I would assume. Let's just have a look on the map. Wow, the map's quite small, isn't it? How do I zoom in? That's where I am. So yeah, these are, so Allerton, it's very small. That's as much as I can see. I'm at Speke Junction just now. It's quite a big area over that side. Which I will go and investigate on foot at some point as well. So we're coming into Allerton. I've just turned the regulator to closed for now. Or shut off the regulator is probably the real terminology, isn't it? So Craig, you've got it on PS5. Anything you had for the PS4 version, you'll get on the PS5 automatically once you install the PS5 version, if that's what you mean. Burhouse says it looks harder to drive to me. It is, but I'm saying Burhouse that I was wondering how I would get on, especially doing this first look for the very first time. Whatever happens here is because I've not used it before, so I used this today for the first time. So I wanted to let you guys know that if you're picking it up for the first time today, don't worry. It's not all that bad. Plus, if I make an epic fail on here, you can all laugh at me, and then you won't repeat the mistake when you pick it up later today. So the reverser, I admit the reverser is taking some time to get straight in my mind. I kind of think it's like gears. The higher the reverser goes, the more speed it allows you to go. That's the way I'm thinking of it right now. Just putting some brake in. The good thing is we don't have a red at the end of the platform. So, right, let's get the doors open. We need to, of course, open the cylinder cups. The reverser's ready to go. Let's have another look around while we're here. Thank you, Farah. Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm actually doing better with this, aren't I, than Tourist Bus Simulator? The thing with Train Sim World 2 is I can't take the corners too wide. They're already restricted for me, so I'm fine with this. So if you are doing the fireman duties yourself as well, obviously that's going to add another layer of complexity to it, which is you know, why right now I'm not doing the fireman duties. Want to get used to the operation of the engine from a driver perspective first before anything else. Right, so I have got the reverser up to the full 75%. Let's release the brake, put some regulator in. I'm using the controller for the majority of this as well. That needs to be open, doesn't it, as well. So off we go. The next stop actually is only a mile. So once we're going, close the cylinder cocks, we close the large ejector, and we're good to go. Put a little bit more speed in. I love the fact as well we've got the old vehicles on the road, which is a nice touch. Looks like a Morris Minor over there. Everybody's got the washing out. That'll all be full of soot by tonight. Thanks everyone for coming in though, I appreciate it. So I'll reduce the reverser. I think the recommendation is to reduce the reverser once you're going down to about 25%, which saves energy and also will assist keeping up the boiler pressure. Okay, 900 yards, let's shut the regulator off. A little bit of brake, although we are on a slight uphill gradient. So I'll just drop that off for now. I think we'll be okay for this one. I mean, we're way over time, look. We're sort of 10 minutes late, but that's fine for a first look. Yeah, there's a lot of passion gone into this one. I know a lot of the guys at Dovetail are big fans of Steam. I think that shows through on this route. So I've stopped a little bit short, but that's fine. So I'll put the reverser into neutral. Open the cylinder cocks. Hey Laserjet, how are you doing? Thanks for coming in. Right, let's see, this is West Allerton. It's going good, Laserjet, yeah. How about you? I bet you've been playing this all day, Laserjet, haven't you? Right. So let's get that up to 75. to open. Brakes are coming up. Put in a bit of regulator to get us going. The next station's actually 0.7. Oh, you've been playing it all week, LaserJet. Yeah, I saw one of yours yesterday. I saw the passion you've got for it. Because I know you're a Steam guy as well, aren't you? It's a very good DLC. Just in my opinion. And I am starting now, just after a few stops, I'm starting to pick up what I need to do control-wise without looking at the crib sheet too much, which is a good sign. No, no, you're fine, LaserJet. The passion was coming through there. It was really good to watch. Actually, it was quite entertaining. I quite enjoyed it. So everybody in the chat probably knows LaserJet. LaserJet's another one of our DTG ambassadors, of course. A good all-round guy. And Blue Games is another one of our ambassadors. Welcome, Blue Games. Looking good on PlayStation. Yes, it is. It is. I was saying to the chat earlier that I don't think we saw a preview on the PS5, so I've been pleasantly surprised after firing this up to see how good it looks. I'm still going to be cautious coming into these stations just until I get used to the braking. I could do a LaserJet and shoot right through the station, which was great yesterday. LaserJet, I enjoyed that one. Oh, LaserJet, you've got the 8F at West Somerset, of course, because that's the other thing, guys, as well, of course, is that via the scenario planner, you'll be able to move these engines around onto your favourite route, as LaserJet has just mentioned. That's a good reminder, LaserJet, thank you for that. Put these on any route you want. It doesn't have to be in the UK, it doesn't have to be the UK routes. If you want to put them on the German routes, give it a go. But in my case, I can't wait to run these on Northern Transpennine. That's gonna be pretty epic. And if you're in the chat and you're new, please give me a sub. That would be excellent. We were nearly 800 before the stream started. So every sub, every like, really appreciated. That'll help me. Thank you for that. But enough of the sales pitch. Let me remember now to put the reverser back to mid-gear so that we're ready to go. That's backwards actually. No, I don't want to do that. Where's mid-gear? I'm using the controller for this, as you can tell. We need to open the cylinder cocks, of course. This must be a really hard job, this fireman, because this lady has not stopped the whole time, keeping that fire going. Look. She's going to have some muscles by the time she finishes, I'll tell you that much. Oh, thanks, LaserJet. That's quite an honour. Thank you. Right, let's get the doors set to locked. So, reverse up to 75%. That's the first thing. Large ejector, we need to open. The small ejector's already open, so we're good there. Release the brake. Then some regulator, and we're good to go. So, like I said, guys, more and more as you do it, you think about it less. So don't let that worry you if you're new to it, as I am. So now that we're going, we can close the large ejector, close the cylinder cocks. And we're away. Puzzle Peanut, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Puzzle Peanut says, just made it, did I miss anything? Well, if you came here for the fails, there have, surprisingly, there haven't been any so far. I'm doing okay. So, yeah, we're good. But I'm absolutely loving it. It's I can tell I'm going to be playing this non-stop for days. And I've not even got to the freight runs yet. This is just the passenger stuff. It's got a different vibe to the other DLCs as well. It's very relaxing. See the animations. This one is Swaziland. So I think all these Jubilees have got nameplates. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it, Laserjet? Yeah, exactly that. I'm just looking at it and thinking, wow. And I think you've hit it there as well, Laserjet. Putting this on West Somerset Railways is going to be one of the nicest crossovers that we can do in the scenario planner. West Somerset's already got that sort of steam vibe, hasn't it? So, Sefton Park, platform 4. I should have put the reverser down to about 25% once we were underway. We're actually at a 0.9 gradient here, so I'm going to leave some power in. Yeah, it's probably worth taking a look, Laserjet. Yeah, if I get time, I'll do it today. If not, I might run another one just dedicated to that, I think. I might set up a few scenarios and do it that way. Well, it's a good suggestion, yeah. Right, let's close the regulator and we'll just roll in. So if you're on the fence about this DLC, don't be, honestly, it's great. But as well as all the streams from the ambassadors, of course, there is another Dovetail stream tonight, don't forget, so you can tune in for that one as well. let everybody get on board. Let's have a look where we're going actually. Oops. So we got Edge Hill and Lime Street coming up, so that's good. It'd be nice to see Lime Street. I haven't seen Lime Street yet in the flesh, as it were, in the game. I do know Lime Street in real life quite well. I've been in and out of Lime Street quite a lot. It's not that far from me. Hey Gilly, how are you? Thanks for coming in. Right, so there we go. Let's do that. Got some regulator on. Do you know, LaserJet, that's a very good suggestion. I would definitely be up for that. Close that. .3 miles to Edge Hill. I have a compulsion to keep blowing the whistle. Which is what I said at the beginning. I don't know what the blowing the whistle etiquette is, but I don't care. I'm going to blow the whistle. Yeah, it is PS5. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's nothing to stop us doing one of our own LaserJet, really, is there? That's the other option if we can manage to put that together. Right, so we've got a mile to Edge Hill. I will now reduce now that we're underway. So that reducing the regulator, not the regulator, sorry, reducing the reverser back down will help us keep the steam pressure up, and I'm actually speeding now. So let's close the regulator. About to go down a very steep gradient. Hey Joseph, how are you doing? Thanks for coming in. Hey Storkside, how are you? Good to see you back in. Everything's going pretty well. Puzzle Peanut says the SnowRunner Next Gen update is downloading. Yep, I will be downloading that later on. Absolutely, Farah. Everybody's nice and friendly in this chat. And if they're not friendly, I'll have something to say about it. So everyone's more than welcome. So it's good to see you, Joseph. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. That will be great. Right. Regulator's closed. Let me put some brake on because we're rapidly approaching Edge Hill. Absolutely, absolutely puzzle peanut. No pun intended. Puzzle peanut comes here to release some steam. Yeah. In fact, Gilly, I'm just right now. I'm finding it all very atmospheric. I knew this was going to be quite good. I just didn't know it would be this good. I can't tell you how impressed I am. You can probably tell. Because those of you that watch me regularly know what I'm like, and I won't be able to put this one down, I think. Let's go up a bit higher and have a look at Edge Hill. Edge Hill number 2 signal box there. What puns are those, Farrah? No, poor house. Everyone gets a chance to say stuff in this chat. If I don't answer you, one of the regulars definitely will do. So. Ace Dockside, you've reinstalled TSW 2020. Couldn't figure out. For the 50th time I had to get the train going. Tried everything but couldn't get it going. Which train was that in particular, Ace Dockside? Open those. Actually, they should be closed, shouldn't they? Should be open. No, they should be open. Which way is it? Nah, I'm forgetting. It's closed, is it? We open them when we go. We open them when we set off, then we close them again. Even I'm forgetting now. Let's take a look outside. So Lime Street is our next station stop, which is excellent. Right. Open those. Get the reverse up to 75. And then we put the regulator up, release the brake. There we go. We've got a 15 coming up quite soon, so we'll keep the speed down. So we can close those now that we're underway. Close the large ejector and we can bring the reverser back down. this is the famous entrance here to Liverpool Lime Street, which again is done very well. I'm just comparing it to the amount of times I've been through here in real life, and it's very well done. This is just carved out of the rock, this. Historic side, I've definitely got some videos showing that Long Island DLC. So I don't know if you've already gone to have a look, but have a look there. You might be able to follow what I'm doing there to get the train started. See if that helps you. Farris says away from Steam for a moment, completed the fast lane scenario. Works perfectly on PS4. Yeah, it was fixed, wasn't it, in the patch this week? I think it was in the patch notes. Puzzle Peanut says first day and you look like a pro. I wouldn't go that far, Puzzle Peanut, but I'll take it. if a pro means just getting it moving and being able to stop, then yeah. But I haven't attempted to do the fireman activities at the same time yet, so I'm being very cautious going into Lime Street because this is where I could hit the buffers. It is dark in here, Blue Games. You're right. Yeah. It is very dark in real life though, because, well, as you can see, it's very high-sided. Yeah, our friend here is putting in the call. Slightly speeding, but that's fine. This route has a Harry Potter vibe. Yeah, steam trains. A little bit too much brake there, I think. It's also great, isn't it, now, so you're going down this bit of a tunnel. The smoke hits the roof of the tunnel and spreads out, which is a really nice effect. Once we get into Lime Street, I'll just jump out and we'll have a walk around Lime Street and just take a look at the station whilst we're there. Hey 20, how are you? Thanks for coming back in. Just put a little more touch on the brakes there. Good, excellent 20. So this is my first look at Lime Street whilst I'm actually playing. It looks really good. So we should be able to just ease it to a nice stop, just at the right speed. Let's go along the platform, why not? Little bit of brake. If we stop short, it's fine. It's the safe way, isn't it? There we go. Let's get the doors unlocked. Actually, they need to stay closed, don't they? They only open when we leave. So we'll let everybody get off. Quick look round the station. But they should be open, coming to think about it. Right, let's lock the doors. There's a trophy for one service completed. 58 minutes that took me. Probably, was it meant to be 37 minutes? So we went over slightly, but it's fine. Got a gold medal though, for those of you that like gold medals. So that wasn't actually a bad run, to be honest. Let me return to free roam. And what I'll do is I'll just jump out. So these little animations that are quite nice as well, you know, little doors opening and closing. Let's have a look around. Lime Street's quite a big station. Can we go out of here? It's certainly changed a lot since how it looks here. I mean, some of the station here is partitioned off now, compared to what it is on here. The entrance is all built up. It's all glass. It's all quite nice. Booking office for London and the South, Birmingham and West of England. Excellent. There's a poster. So I don't know what the other collectibles are, actually. I know about the posters, because that's in the introduction. I'm not sure what the others are, so I'll go searching for those at some point. Right, let's quit out of that. And we'll run another one. Shall we try a freight run? Let's do that. So we need the 8F for this one. We want to go away from Edge Hill, don't we? Edge Hill to Nuneaton. Why don't we try this one? Then we can go in the opposite direction. We'll try this. So I hope everyone's enjoying the stream. Thanks everyone for coming in. I appreciate it. And there's quite a few people today, isn't there, streaming this? So I do appreciate you coming in. Right, so let's get everything ready to go. Let's have a look outside actually first, why not? So this is the 8F. So we've got quite a long train. Bit of a mix of freight on this one. Right, so let's check cylinder cocks open. Then we need to, of course, put the reverser up to full. Brakes are released already. Large ejector needs to be open. Okay, here we go. So this now, I'm assuming we're getting some wheel spin. So I'm going to need some sand here. Where's the sand? Where's the sander? Come on. It's around here somewhere. There it is. Alright, we don't want the rear, we want the front sander. See if we can get a grip. Come on, you can do it. Just getting that balance between the wagons, the brakes coming off and the wagons picking up. So let's just put a little bit more in. Try this again. Large ejector actually needs to be open, doesn't it, for when we set off? Come on. What is it I'm not doing right here? Something's not right. Brakes are off. This is the only thing I did last time that was different. I wonder if the brakes are stuck on the wagons themselves. Because this is not doing anything, is it? The other thing is, do I need to hold the sander? Wait, the blower's meant to be open, isn't it? Oh, there we go. The blower. That's what it was. Or was it? Now I've spoken too soon. So we've got sand at the front. Yeah, now, yeah, historic senses. Now you understand my struggle. Yeah, this one's definitely a struggle. This is a hill start as well, which doesn't help. So I'm putting power in because I can see the steam chest going up there. So that's open. Yeah, jinxed it, puzzle peanut. Yeah, you're right. I can get a little bit of forward movement and then I stop. So, is it Is it just taking a while for all the brakes to come off, or I'm not quite sure. What I should probably do is not take the brake fully off. Let's see if I can open the regulator, get it to start picking up. And then release the brake. Just slightly. It wants to go. Let's put some brake on again. Hey Melody, how are you? Thanks for coming in. Right, so we've got the regulator open now. Let's see. It's not wanting to budge, is it? So I see steam going into the steam chest, so it's ready to go. Release the brake. I wonder if it's how fast you release the brake or not. %, regulator. Release the brake. Right, nothing. So there's a fail. There's something there I'm not quite doing right on a hill start. So it does want to roll backwards, but if I roll backwards onto the flat, will I be able to get going again? Should be able to start on the hill, to be honest. Let's just double check everything again. The blower. %. I'm going off the crib sheet now. No, just it's the auto fireman controls that. Okay, let's put some regulator on again, and we'll try this once more. If not, we'll move on to something else till I work this one out. So this one is difficult for the beginner. I think a hill start actually was covered in the video yesterday. It says, yeah, I am heavy, but I think it was spinning the wheels. Puzzle cleanup. Yeah, see the wheels are not even turning there. You can see on the two dials on the left, the bottom one is how much steam is in the steam chest. So the supply to the engine, which you can see that when I turn the regulator off, it drops. But it's not wanting to go. Right, so what we'll do, I'm going to work that out and I'm going to redo that on another stream. Otherwise, we may spend the whole time doing that. Let's pick another freight service. We'll try and get one if we can that's not on a hill. So that one was from Edgehill Sheds, wasn't it? Edgehill, we don't want to do one during the day, don't we? Then you can see it. Edgehill Sheds. Edgehill. So are they all going to start in the same place? That's what. So that was Edgehill to Basford Hall. That one that we were looking at. Let's try. Let's just try a short one, shall we? What's this one? With this to Speke Junction. We'll try this one. Let's see if we can get this going. I also wonder about that one, whether or not you need to manually release some of the actual wagons, the brakes on the wagons. I need to double check that. I'll ask Dovetail about that. There must be something there that I'm doing wrong. Right, let's get this one underway anyway. So the cylinder cocks need to be open. That's good. Because we're using the same procedure as we did for the passenger chain. It's just, like you said, puzzle peanut, it's just the weight, I think, which is the problem. 75% for the cut-off. Then we need 15% regulator. Take off the brake. Open that. I think we're moving very, very slightly. There we go. This is Ditton Junction, so it's a different thing when you're on the sort of straight and level. Well, it's pretty level, isn't it? It's not exactly level, but so hill start is definitely a challenge. Where are the brakes on the wagons? In these red ones, I think there's some. There's a handbrake. See, for each one of these, for whatever wagon you're looking at, they're in different places. But it's worth just double checking that the handbrakes are off. I don't know where it is on this one actually. Some of them, they're funny, they're right underneath. But it's worth checking that if you can't get going. I'll redo that one off stream, just make sure I can get that going. I didn't want to waste any more time when you guys are sat there. Right, so we've got to go via. Open the regulator a bit more. We can start to reduce the reverser. Yeah, pretty, yeah, enjoying it, Melody. Yeah, it's great. That issue that I just had then was the only issue so far, but that comes down to me not really knowing how to operate steam engines. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with it. But we're using the same procedure as we've done before. But I think, as Puzzle Peanut says, because of the weight that we were pulling there, it's a bit more of a struggle. But the actual DLC itself is great. I've no complaints there. So I'll reduce the reverser a little bit more. Can go faster when we've got a red. This red might clear though once we get across this objective. Close those. This is what I should have done. We should have closed the large ejector. So I'll need to brake pretty quick if this doesn't clear the red, and it has done so. We need to stop at Speke Downgoods in 3.5 miles. So a chance to get a little bit of speed up here actually. Let's try that and see how we get on. So what do you guys think so far? I wonder if you, some of you guys came into the stream, you know, sat a little bit on the fence, and what you've seen has convinced you either way, good or bad. I'd be interested to know that. Got some wheel slip going on there, so lowers the regulator a little bit. Which will also help our steam pressure rise again. You can see it's rising there on the big dial on the left. The little sort of up arrow means our steam pressure is building back up again. So that's the other thing you need to watch for. Coming nicely up to the red needle there. Puzzle Peanut, you're really liking what you're seeing? Yeah, that's good. And really, I can only, on this first stream, I can only really touch the surface of it, I think, really. There's going to be a lot more to it than this. There's a lot of playability in it, as we saw at the beginning, when we looked through the scenarios and the journey mode, etc. The other thing I want to do as well is, outside of Steam, I think this route as well is perfect for getting some of the BR Blue diesels. I might have mentioned that the other night on one of the other streams. So I want to set up a few scenarios with the BR Blue diesels on this route. And do a few full runs from Crewe down to Lime Street, that would be great. So we've got 1.6 miles till we need to stop. So do you think you'll pick it up there, Melody? Just preparing for this 15 right now. Yeah, I think it won't be long, Ace Darkside, until you come over to TSW2. Hey British Ace, how are you? Good to see you. I could have done with you actually, Joe, a few minutes ago. I couldn't get the freight train started on the hill. Well, I couldn't get it to move. Let's put it that way. I wasn't sure whether I was doing something wrong, but couldn't seem to get it to grip very well, so I need to check on that. So we've done a freight service starting up on the straight and narrow, which was a little bit easier. But it's looking very good on the PS5, Joe, we'll say that. So this is Speke. don't, don't worry, Joe. Don't worry. Oh, 800 now. Excellent. Thanks, everybody, for that. Yeah, it does look good. I mean, if you look here, the draw distance right across that side, with the chimney smoking there in the distance, looks really good on the PS5. I think they've done a great job with this one. It gets better and better, doesn't it, with each release, really. Keep building on what's been done the previous release. Just keep adding to it. Okay, so let's shut off the regulator. $200 yards. A little bit of brake, just bring us to a steady stop. Okay, so we need to go forward. Let's just double check. Is there anything we need to do? Nope, so we can draw forward. So let's release the brake. 75. Watch for the wheel slip, which is the other thing. Keep the regulator around 15. I think we're at 12 right now. That's enough just to keep us going. Hi shit, how you doing? No, I've not tackled Runcorn Grade yet. I don't think I have. We've done one service in the Jubilee and then we've done this one. I might have a practice of that one, Joe. Off stream first. We've already had one fail. The one's enough. Well, it wasn't really a fail. It was not really knowing how to get it going, get it started on a gradient. So, wasn't particularly anything we did wrong. It was what we weren't doing right that was the problem. Yeah, it's nice 20, isn't it? Yeah, looks good. Right, so the regulator's closed. EK Gaming Player, how are you doing? Good to see you again. Yeah, it's just practice this, I think. It's not as difficult as I thought it would be. I think that's what I would say to all the new players to Steam. It looks very complicated, but actually it isn't that bad. Just practice, really, I think is the key. Oh, look at that. What did I do wrong there? Well, there's a thing. I wasn't on a junction. Very odd. Very odd. Trade Simulator, how are you? Trade Simulator, everyone, is of course Dovetail Games. I don't know who that is for Train Simulator this afternoon, but it's nice to see you. Uh, British Ace is laughing at the derailment. I did nothing wrong there, did I? I did nothing wrong. That one was interesting. I don't know if Train Simulator spotted that then, just as they arrived, but that was not my fault. So, hey Jamie, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Jamie, everybody from Dovetail Games. Right. So, let's run another passenger. Let's do Lime Street to London Euston. Why don't we do this one? 7:31 a.m. EK Gamer says, "Is there a level system with this game?" There is a level system, but right now it doesn't. It's just, well, you can see my. No, you can't see it on here actually. Or can you see it if I go into the pause? Does it show it here? Doesn't show it here. There is a level system. You work your way up the levels, but it doesn't really mean anything in game. Ace Dark said, another epic fail for the Tintin epic fail montage. That's not my fault, that Ace Dark side. Jamie says, there's an issue with derailing at the moment being looked to, mainly with harsh braking and mineral wagons. That might explain it then, Jamie. Yeah. Okay, right, so, uncouple vehicles. Let's have a look. It's the first thing we need to do. So I'm assuming we've got the inbound engine on the back of this one. There we go. Then we can get everybody on board. So let's first turn on the cab light, which is a really neat thing. I really do like that. There's our fireman. Oh, I've not looked at the mastery yet, Joe. Actually, that's a good point. Yeah, so there is mastery available as well for this route. So let's prepare. The reverser up to 75. Get the doors locked. Put in some regulator release the brake. Brakes are released. Launch ejector needs to be open. Now this one is a hill start as well, so I'm hoping we start to pick up. Here we go. LaserJet says it's nice to just sit back and watch a stream for once. It is, yeah. And I'm pleased it's mine you've come to have a look at. I said there's quite a few streams going on today, so we'll probably all just be zipping about amongst everybody's streams. Open the small ejector. Oh yes. Good point. So this is the first time I've come out of Lime Street on this hill. So then close the cylinder cocks. Now, do we close the ejectors JME straight away? Guess we can, can't we? The small ejector stays open. The large ejector closes. Yep, thank you, Jamie. Open the regulator a bit and bring the reverser back. Yep. I love this coming in and out of Lime Street, it's excellent. Yeah, I think big round of applause on this one for Dovetail. I think it's this could be the best one yet. I'm taking an early punt. Yeah, thanks Puzzle Peanut. Yeah, everybody leave me a like if that's okay with everybody. If you're enjoying it, why not? Wow, what a great picture that is. Let's check what our passengers are doing. Not many in first class today. The expensive seats. Oh, thanks very much, Jamie. 800 subs. Excellent. Thanks to everyone who's come in, especially if it's your first time in the streams. Yeah, Joe, these little compartments are excellent, aren't they? When we went to the East Lancs Railway, my son would not travel on the train unless we got one of these compartments to ourselves. So we had to oblige, and we had to get one of these compartments. But we got in, and the heaters were on full blast coming out from under the seats. So we were sweltering by the time we got to the other end. To be honest. There's something quite nice about them though, and the seats are so springy as well, aren't they? You sit on them and it's like sitting on the edge of a bed. Not like these ironing board seats that they've got now on modern trains. Right, so this is Edge Hill. So I'll start to close the regulator a little bit. Thanks, LaserJet. Thanks for the support. I appreciate all you guys coming in. Yeah, of course, the side headrest, yeah. So Edge Hill is the top of that hill, isn't it? Probably where Edge Hill comes from, I imagine. Now that I think about it. Okay, so we stopped slightly short, but it's fine. We've arrived in one piece, and that's the main thing. Right, so now that we're here, do we set this every single time? I guess we need to be in 75 when we set off, but do we set it to the midpoint whilst we're stopped? Is something I'm not 100% clear on. Close the cylinder cocks. Yeah, the fire inside, the animation of the fire is really good, isn't it? Well, let's get the doors locked. Cylinder cocks are open, which is good. Brakes are off. Large ejector open. Runcorn is our next stop. 9.7 miles, so nice run now between stations. But it looks very good, doesn't it? Look at this. Even down to look at the paving stones with the moss in between. So many small details you don't always see the first time around until you start exploring. Got you, Jamie. So down to mid gear if it's not going to move for a while, and then move to where it needs to be afterwards. So if we're just stopping at a station just to pick up passengers, we could leave it where it was. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Thank you for that. So I'll bring the reverser back a little bit now that we're underway. Probably bring it right down, can't I? Let's just check everything is correct. Cylinder cocks should be closed. Large ejector closed. So we're running up this hill right now. So the fireman's job never stops, as I said earlier. She needs to be constantly having to top the fire up. I mean, that's going to be a long day. It's going to feel like a long day, isn't it? Especially if, you know, I don't know whether the fireman on board was responsible for getting the fires ready in the locomotives for an early start, or whether that was done by somebody else. Probably Jamie can probably tell us that. Was it the fireman for the loco's responsibility to get the fire going and work the train the whole way through, or was there somebody at the depot that would prepare the trains first? Because that would be a long day. I'm going to bring the reverser back. It's about 25%. So the needle on the pressure gauge is pointing upwards, so we're regaining some of that pressure now. Turn the cab light off now. No problem, Puzzle Peanut. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. See you on the next one. Okay, yeah, thanks Jamie. Yeah, so the cleaner would normally get the local prepped first thing in the morning, and then the fireman will turn up early to take over. Got it. well, we're on console, so we're on the PS5. And I have to say it looks brilliant on the PS5. Close the regulator a bit. Get some wheel slip just then. So we've still got 6.5 miles to go. What I like about this route as well is the industrial northwest feel. I think that's definitely captured quite well. I like the effect of the factory chimneys in the distance smoking away there. Which of course was a feature of the industrial northwest. Couldn't look anywhere without seeing chimneys on the horizon smoking away. The head out view. There's quite a bit of cab sway at this speed as well, isn't there? So just got just under 5 miles till we get to Runcorn. It's really nice to drive this. It's difficult to explain without you getting your hands on it yourselves, but at speed as well. I think this is the first time this afternoon we've been up to speed, and it's an absolute pleasure. The animations as well are excellent. We're still not going to be on time. That's for a different day. But as long as we get there in one piece, that's the main aim. So I will just close the regulator because we're on a downhill slope. Had a little bit of brake. And I keep going silent because I keep taking it in. I keep forgetting to talk. I'm kind of enjoying the view so much and I'm just admiring it that I quite often forget to talk. I get swept up in the moment, you know. It's one of those types of things. see if we can channel our inner Sam, shall we? The PS5 version. And keep an eye on the speed limit coming up, of course. Love the lighting as well. The lighting is the lighting reminds me of the same effect that was on the 1938 stock for the London Underground. This kind of warm, sort of warm lighting. So we're approaching Runcorn, we've not got far at all to go. Yeah, a bit of Colonel Cam, Jamie, that's exactly it. I can't do it as well as he does it. But I did manage to get a phantom derailment, which is something else that Sam can manage to do. So we're level there, definitely. Got a hill coming up here, so I don't want to go too slow. So I always said about the Class 101 in Train Sim World that the sort of clickety-clack noise that you get when you drive in the 101 was very therapeutic, and I always drove the 101 to sort of relax. I know a lot of people don't drive the 101 to relax because they find it a little bit complicated with the gearing, etc., but the clickety-clack sort of sound always was very relaxing. And listen to this right now, this is exactly the same. You know, you don't have to. You don't have to go top speed on this DLC if you don't want to. You can just go at this pace and just enjoy it. Just enjoy these locos, and the sounds are wonderful. Gone quiet again while I'm listening to it. Let's have a look at the chat. British Air says 95 miles walked on the PS5 version. Oh, 5 more than the Platinum. I've done the walking one. I think I got most of the walking one, you know, when I went around Horseshoe Curve looking for the collectibles. I think I'm about 800 miles away from 10,000 miles, so that's the only one that I need, so I'm quite close. And I think that will be the third TSW Platinum that I've got. I mean, just take a moment here to see, look at the scene. If this alone doesn't want to make you pick up this DLC, then I'm not sure what will. Joe's on the bridge. Hey Black Arrow, how are you? Welcome back in. It does look great, you're right. It does. Yep, I can recommend it. So just across the bridge, pretty much at Runcorn. Yeah, and I'm going pretty slow as well, Joe. Just admiring the view. What are we? We're 7 minutes overtime, so it's not too bad. Thanks, Jamie. It's nice of you to pop in. Appreciate it. Yeah, and as Jamie says, if anybody's got any technical questions, pop those in the forum, because Jamie's on hand there to check those out and can respond. So this is Runcorn. Probably slow down a tad too much there. So I'll just edge it down the platform a little bit. Joe's fallen off the bridge. Does it let you fall off the bridge? Does it, or does it just end the? Does it just end the session? Right, let's get to a stop. Got you, yeah. So that's the doors unlocked. So let's open those. It says on this script sheet, blower to 50%, but I'm assuming the fireman is controlling that. Let's check the schedule. So we've got Hartford next, then Crewe. Right, doors locked. We can whack the reverser back up to 75, ready for departure. And then stop the brakes. Open the large ejector. and we should be good to go. We are on a hill. We've got a hill start. There we go. Yeah, I bet it was hot, Black Arrow. Yeah, you basically got a furnace going there, haven't you? Okay, Mel, thanks. Catch you later. So we're pushing it up this hill. A little bit more regulator in there, just open it up a bit more. So I'm quite pleased you can work most of this from the controller as well, which was nice. Miles to Hartford, so another good chance to get up to speed. Is this the Runcorn ascent that you were mentioning, Joe? Is this a long one? Try and keep the speed creeping up. So if we were on time, we would be arriving right now at Hartford. As it is, we're just leaving Runcorn, so it's fine. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, I thought it might be, Joe, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a long grade, yeah. It's a very long slope. Hey Neil, how are you? Thanks for coming in. Late to the party. No, don't worry. Always good to see you. Keep an eye on that steam pressure there, because the needle is dropping. I'm kind of hoping this this gradient will start flattening out quite soon, then we can drop the regulator a little bit, let that steam recover. The needle is kind of flicking between losing and adding pressure. so I think we're in the sweet spot. That's Allerton Junction signal box that we just passed. Neil says, is it a steep learning curve? Actually, Neil, I was saying it isn't. There's a lot to remember, but go onto the Dovetail forums, and there's a very good crib sheet on there which explains what you need to do to get moving, keep going, and also stopping. And once you get a hang of the sequence that you need to use, it's actually not that bad. I was surprised really, because I was a bit worried that I'd come on here and do a first look and make a complete mess of it, but actually no, it's not that bad. It's a lot more complicated obviously than the other DLCs we've got and the way that the other trains operate, but no, it's not too bad at all. Yeah, Black Arrow, yeah, so that's why this fireman's got to keep going the whole time, and up here we've got the tender full of coal. And I imagine they would have provided enough for whatever journey was being undertaken, so this shouldn't have run out. Water might be an issue, but then again, I think usually along the line there'd be several stopping points where you could top up, well, for both really, water and coal. Hey Kreza, how are you? Good to see you again. How's the new DLC? Pretty good mate, yeah. It's very nice. So we just got to the crest of that hill now, and need to build up a bit more pressure really. So if I just reduce the regulator, you can see the needle now is pointing upwards, or the little sort of V or up arrow, which means it's putting pressure back in. It is good that we got this on console, Neil. Yeah, it is. And certainly on these next gen consoles, it looks perfect, to be honest. Cressa says, is this your best DLC? Oh, it could be. Bit too early to say. It's a little bit different to the others though. This kind of stands on its own, this one. If you give me several Steam DLCs, that might be a little bit different, but yeah, this certainly is very, very interesting. It's very good. I'm really enjoying it so far. Yeah, I remember you saying Tees Valley's your local line, Kreza. The best one before this, Northern Transpennine or London Commuter. My personal two favourites. So I'm going to drop the reverser to help with that pressure recovery. It's shooting right up now. So we can add a bit of a regulator so we can pick up some speed. You mean in the Northern Transpennine, Krasa? It goes from Manchester, Victoria to Leeds. So the steam pressure is nearly fully recovered now, which is good. I think actually as well, Black Arrow, I think the first steam locomotive actually ran on this route, or part of this route. I seem to remember it got a bit nasty. I think somebody got killed, unfortunately. If I'm remembering the story correctly. Krasa, do you mean, is this route cargo mostly? Or Northern Transpennine? I guess the answer to that is both, or sort of 50-50. Cargo and passenger. Northern Transpennine, yes, both. There is the heavy freight pack that you can add to Northern Transpennine, which of course is specifically freight. But that's quite a nice add-on as well. Five and a half miles until Hartford. And after Hartford, I think we've just got Crewe. Hey Trash Panda, how are you? Thanks for coming in. Watching this stream makes you realise how much different it is when I play on PS4. I haven't seen it on PS4 yet, actually. Or the original Xbox, come to think of it. Oh well, Krasa, if you've got £133 spared, stocked up there for the Xbox store, you could perhaps get a couple. I could definitely recommend this one. So far I've been very impressed with this one. And I said it just earlier, I was a bit worried it'd be very complicated and that would take away some of the enjoyment. But it's not complicated. Dovetail have made it so that, you know, it can sort of appeal to every level of player, I would say. That's one good thing about it. So we've got a red coming up, 1.2 miles. Oh, sorry to hear that, Trash Panda. If that's the case, then maybe it'll just get some tweaking. Make sure you put all your feedback on the forum, as usual, Trash Panda. Then it can be seen. List it in the technical report section is probably the best place to put it. Black Arrow says, good job there aren't any horse riding bandits in this game to jump onto the train. A bit like Red Dead Redemption. Yeah, it's set in the 1950s, 1958 specifically, I seem to remember. Right, just slowing up for this red, which is coming up in under 1,000 yards. Yeah, Trash Band, there's still a beautiful route on Loco. The other thing, of course, is that if you ever do upgrade to the PS5, then you obviously won't have to pay again for the route. It'll be there ready for you. We got something in front of us there. Is that why we got this red? Looks there's something up there in the distance. What's the difference between Brighton and East Coastway? You mean the Brighton main line and East Coastway? Well, both have got Brighton in them. But the Brighton main line runs up to London, whereas the East Coastway is more of a regional sort of service. Going down to Eastbourne and Seaford. So they're both completely different routes. The only common thing is that Brighton is in both. If you want faster runs, then Brighton Main Line is the one you want. London commuter. And there is freight on both those routes as well, but not a lot. It's mainly passenger. So we did have something in front of us, which is cleared, so we've got a green now, so we can carry on to Hartford. Got a red straight away. The braking is very good, so I know I wasn't going very fast then, but the brakes immediately applied there. So I'll creep forward a little bit. Let's put this back up to 75 to get going. Some wheel wheel spin there. Because we do have a little bit of brake still in. West Cornwall's very good, Grezza, yeah. That's another good one. So we'll just take it easy here on this stretch, because that train in front of us seems to be holding us up a little bit. So if he's also going to Hartford, he'll be stopping in front of us. Yeah, per house, there you go. Yeah, there's content for all of them, Kreza. Just have a look. Just go back and have a look. You see, the driver just gets to sit there. The fireman's constantly working. Got to be so tired by the time you've finished. Right, let me drop the reverser down, just to help that boiler pressure. God, RBL, welcome in. Mine doesn't work for some reason. I bought it, is it because I'm on computer? What was it? You mean you bought this route? You have got the base game, I assume, God RBL, because the Spirit of Steam won't work on its own without the base game, of course. And of course, you would, if you're on PC, you would need to buy it from Steam or from Epic. But then it should work if you've got the base game all installed correctly. Bought both, yeah. Oh, has it not been released on PC yet? I don't know about that. It could be. Usually the consoles do release a little bit before PC, so it could be. Because I've been streaming a couple of hours, I've not seen the news yet, whether it's out on PC yet. But you could be right. Right, so just over a mile till Hartford, then we've got Crewe. No, it's fine. God RBL. No problem at all. And I hope you enjoy the route. In fact, if you've only just bought the game today, I hope you enjoy the game. Full stop. It's a very good game. Yeah, just take a look on the forums, God RBL. I'm sure there you'll be able to find out whether it's out on PC. I'm assuming you pre-ordered it then, and that's why you're able to buy it. You're able to pre-order it. So I'll drop the reverser down. So push our steam pressure back up. Just over half a mile to Hartford. No, you couldn't walk through Black Arrow, that's correct. Yeah, the engine and tender were completely separate to the coaches. Thanks once again everyone for coming in. I appreciate you spending some time just hanging out. Hope this is helping. If you're on the fence about buying it today, just want to have a look, you're more than welcome. It's good to see you. So, regulators closed. And let's brake. Yeah, the brakes come on very fast. Right, so now that we are stopped, we can open those. So we've got one final stop after this, which is Crewe, which is of course our other big station on the route, other than Liverpool Lime Street where we started. So we'll get everybody on board and then we'll make our way to Crewe. Right, that's the doors done, so let's get the reverser up to 75, ready to deploy. Open the regulator and release the brake. Open the ejector. Takes a second for the brakes to come off. 12 miles to Crewe. So close the sunning cocks and the Lloyd's ejector. Oh, it's available in 2 hours, is it? That's interesting. What's that? Coming up to 4 o'clock, so 6 p.m. UK time when it releases for PC. Okay, that's it then. Yeah. Well, I think God RBL, you won't be disappointed with this one. It's I've really enjoyed these couple of runs that we've done. It's been quite a nice way to spend an afternoon, to be honest. Yeah, and don't forget, God RBL, to sub to the channel. So then when we do the next one, you can come in and let me know what you thought about it after you've had a chance to try it out for yourself. I'd be interested to know, especially as a new player. Thanks very much for that. Appreciate it. God RBL. Black Arrow, a 3-hour run. And no, it's not. It's not that long, the route. We've done two passenger runs and 1 freight run we've done during that time. No, that's fine. God RBL, don't worry. That's what I'm here for. Yeah, cool. No problem. So our fireman is hard at work again. That animation where the coal isn't staying on the shovel, that's something that's going to be fixed. It's not working just now, it didn't make it for release, but it's going to be fixed. let's take this chance for this 9 miles to get some more speed going. Thanks, Sparrow, for that. Thank you very much. That's great news. So I mean, just as a first look, this has been very good. As I said, I've really enjoyed it. I've not pushed it to its limits because I'm still on a learning curve with it. The main thing was mainly about operating the locos, making sure we can keep them going, not losing steam pressure, being able to stop. Just an issue with that hill start with the freight loco I'll need to have a look at. But maybe I didn't leave it long enough for the brakes to release as we were going up the hill. I'll check that out later on. But no, it's a very good DLC would be my summary. It's excellent, in fact. And I'm looking forward to covering a lot more of this. Bit of wheel slip there, so I'll take some of the regulator off. Hi Mark. Mark says, love it, although keep losing pressure and just stop. Might be your fault with the Xbox because you've done everything right. It should. I mean, it should work the same. I think as long as you remember once you're on the way to drop the reverser down to about 25, because as you know, dropping the reverser down helps the pressure recover, as does dropping the regulator down. So a combination of those two. So if you run flat out with both, if you run flat out with that at 75 and you don't alter it, and you've got the regulator wide open, you'll lose that pressure. Just keep experimenting, Mark, and see how you get on. Hey Ross, how are you? How do you get the steam train to move when it's raining? Sounds stupid. No, it's not stupid. No, I know what you mean. You're talking about the physics. And I don't know actually if the rain. I don't know what effect the rain has with the physics. I'll need to try a run in the rain. Not done one yet. Hi Matthew. Hope you're enjoying the DLC. Your mic sounds to be quieter today than usual. I think the steam train is noisy. Okay. I think the sound's been okay so far. Maybe it's because I'm at speed now. Maybe it's going to be a bit louder. Ignore that, Matthew. Ignore it. It's the cloud bot getting itself in a twist. Streamlabs Cloudbot is new for me, so I'm kind of messing about with it. So it picks up on things that are not an issue. So it needs some further work. So yeah, just ignore it. Oh, it only timed you out for 1 second as well. So yeah, hopefully that wasn't too much of a problem. That just shows it needs some tuning. Yeah, hopefully if I come away from the engine, my voice is a bit better. So we've got 3.5 miles until Crewe, and we've got a good pace going just at the moment. Yeah, it's when I get in the engine, I feel, yeah. So I'm going to reduce the regulator. So Mark, you'll see now I've taken some of the regulator off, and you see in the large dial on the left hand side, the little sort of arrow, sort of triangle thing is pointing upwards, meaning the steam pressure is recovering. Yeah, I don't know, Ross. I'll have to try that. I think there's a very. It depends if you're on a hill as well. I think there's a very fine line between putting in too much regulator on a hill or not. But it's a good point, so I'll try it quite soon with rain. Right, so we've got a 20 and a yellow coming up. Let's start to put in some brake. No problem, A stark side. Yeah, I'll take a look at that tonight, A stark side. Let's put a little bit more brake in as we come into Crewe. Yep, no worries. God, RBL. So we'll accelerate up slightly. We can do 20 miles per hour on this approach just for now. Ah, good stuff. Thanks, Farah. Yeah, anyone in the chat who's not left me a like, if you don't mind, leave me one. Just a final push now, just before we finish. That will be excellent. Thank you very much. There's our 20 miles per hour. No, I don't have Train Sim Classic, God IBL, no. Just Train Sim World 2. Right, so this is Crewe, And I think if you look, I saw it on the preview stream, if you look over that side, you can see the football ground. You can't just see it from this particular point, but it's kind of in that direction there. Crewe, Alexandra. So let's do this view. Now we do have a red quite close here, so I don't want to risk getting near that red. Not right at the end of the stream. Hey Rickstar, how are you? Good to see you back. Strong tea, which is what I will be having straight after this stream. So let's close the regulator and just trundle along to the end of the platform. That bed is very close to the objective marker. So we'll stop slightly short, just to be on the safe side. Don't worry, Rickstar, that's perfectly alright. There's always the replay. There's always the replay. There we go. Let's get the doors open. there is oh, you can't see it now because we're in the shade, but the engine is quite dirty. You can't really see now. But if you look at the smoke there is a different colour to the steam, which is at the back. That's steam, that's smoke. Hey Jessica, how are you? Perfect, 1 hour 21. That was an excellent run. Hey Laserjet, welcome back. Going good, going good. In fact, that was our run from Lime Street to Crewe. So I think we'll probably leave it there for today as a first look. I think we've covered runs end to end, which is good. We've done a bit of freight. We've had a look at everything. We've had a good chat about it, and you know, thanks you guys for coming in. I do appreciate it, and for all the new subs and for supporting me. We'll be back on this very soon, I expect. So just click the bell notification and keep your eye on the community tab, and you'll be able to see when I'm about to go live next time. So until then, thanks everyone. Have a great afternoon. Thanks for coming in. See you on the next one.